all of San Diego, this is your Fox 5 News.
Millions of women are losing it, but no one is talking about it. Hair loss in women is a growing problem in this country, and it's happening at earlier ages than ever before. Tonight, a local woman breaks her silence in hopes of shining a light on what's been a dark secret for many women for far too long.
Musicals have been made about it.
What's your definition of good hair?
Something that looks relaxed and nice.
Documentaries. Even mega pop stars sing about it. Hair. And yet no one talks about the 30 million women in the U.S. who are losing it.
Even with somebody you know fairly well, it's just something you don't like to talk about with other people.
Sue, who wants her last name to remain private, wants to change that because for more than 15 years, she, like many women with thinning hair, have suffered in silence.
This is actually very hard for me because it is something that I don't like talking about or bringing attention to, and it's something that I'm very self-conscious about.
It's even more hush-hush among celebrities, but photographs speak volumes. Or in the case of Kate Beckinsale, Naomi Campbell, and Fergie, less volume. Their bad hair days have all been snapped by paparazzi, and still, no one utters a word. And for people like Sue, the stigma of women's hair loss only makes it more traumatic.
There are times where people would be talking to me and I could tell they weren't looking at my eyes. They were actually looking at my scalp because they could see through it, and that was really, really hard.
It took her years just to have the courage to seek treatment.
I was told by my dermatologist probably 15 years ago, and it wasn't until recently that I decided to talk to somebody about it and do something.
Dr. Deutsch, who's been performing hair transplant surgery for 8 years, says he's not surprised it took Sue so long to reach out.
Women will easily go for Botox or for facelifts or anything else, although, you know, some of that is in silence, there's no question, but I think hair is a little bit more, there's something about it that's that strikes to the core.
Dr. Mitchell Goldman agrees.
With women, it's a sign of femininity, and my patients are as concerned about hair loss as they are about wrinkles.
Which is why the hair extension business is now a billion-dollar industry. Women spend thousands of dollars, like here at Salon Ellen La Jolla, seeking that ideal thick head of hair. But for the 1 in 4 women in this country who suffer from female pattern hair loss, covering it up, not so easy.
Unlike male pattern baldness that's well-defined, women's hair loss is more diffuse and tougher to treat. And 98% of the time, in women, it's hereditary.
My grandmother actually has had very, very wispy, thin hair. And the thing is, when you genetically are losing hair, it doesn't stop. It's going to go on for the rest of your life because that's the gene you have.
And that's where preservation comes in, and Sue's new hope, the first FDA-approved laser comb for women. And she believes it's helping her hold on to the hair she has.
So this was very effective based on the studies and helping prevent hair loss, which was very exciting for me, and then also strengthening the hair that I did have.
The HairMax LaserComb claims to help keep strands thicker that thin over time. It also promises to regrow hair. But Dr. Goldman says consider this before you shell out the $495.
Sort of like chicken soup. It can't hurt, maybe it can help.
Right now, the only surefire way to replace lost strands is hair transplant surgery, an expensive option running between $5,000 to $10,000. But if you're picturing those embarrassing hair plugs, think again.
Where we can take follicular units, which are units of 2 and 3 hairs, and transplant them back so not even a trained dermatologist can tell if someone's had a hair transplant or not.
For at-home remedies, Dr. Goldman recommends skipping the Rogaine for women and using men's. It's more effective. And trying supplements like biotin and B vitamins, giving hair the nutrients to grow stronger and longer. But to really get to the root of your hair loss, you need to first rule out any underlying medical problems.
Thyroid diseases and anemia. Also autoimmune diseases like lupus.
Pregnancy, menopause, medications, even over-processed hair, and of course, stress can all cause hair loss. But whatever the problem, Sue says you don't have to lose heart as well.
And I think that other women should just, you know, realize that it's okay, and it happens frequently to people where they do lose their hair, and there are options that you can use to help it.
And one of those options are products like these that are relatively new shampoos and serum products like this Phyto designed to stimulate hair growth. And this, like many other products, can be found by simply asking your dermatologist. You won't find it at the drugstore. Lauren?